Hello everyone, how you doing? I hope you're well. So this week I was guided to draw a card from a tarot deck, but only from the major arcana cards. If you're not familiar with tarot, there are 22 major arcana cards out of 78 cards in a tarot deck. The energies of major arcana can be around us for weeks and months to come. Just to clarify that. So we are talking more long term than short term. Now this week I selected the Good Tarot deck from Colette Baron-Reid, and the card I drew was the Hangman again. I said that because if you remember last week during the recording, I drew 3 tarot cards and one of them was the Hangman. Am I surprised? Not really, because going back to January, I know that the Hangman came up in a few of my daily readings, because I do daily readings quite regularly, and also in 2 of my clients' readings. So I was not really surprised to see the Hangman card this morning. Now, before I remind you of the messages from the Hangman, so I just want to explain to you why we see this card coming up in readings. Generally, first of all, is when you've got that aha moment of self-realization. You need to look at a situation from a new perspective. But quite often we are forced to suddenly be in that position to look at something from a different perspective. We are forced to take time out in order to look at a situation, our lives, or even the collective from a new perspective. So this is the main message. But in order to get there, to be ready to look at your life from a new perspective, this is the perfect time to release anything that no longer serves you in your life. And I'm talking especially old patterns. We are talking about emotions, way of thinking, more on the 3D. We're talking relationship, a job, a business, you name it. So that is going to help us to be more open-minded and look at a situation from a new perspective. After I drew the card this morning, I decided to do a meditation in order to get more information. And I did get more information from Spirit. First of all, I got keywords, and the words were diversity and the expression open-minded. I was also reminded of a video I watched early on during the day on social media, a beautiful video representing a group of people in a circle holding hands and singing Michael Jackson's song, We Are the World. Absolutely beautiful and positive video. And these people were in Canada during the demonstration that is now taking place over there. Okay, so after gathering the information from the Hangman and from the meditation, I started writing down a few notes, and after a few minutes I realized I had an important message, and I thought it was the perfect time to share with you the message in this week's video. So here's the message. I hope it will resonate with you. Bear with me, I'm going to read my notes. So here's the message. There is a glimmer of hope and optimism in the collective related to an event that is mainly taking place in one country. It's positive. But why is it positive? Because we're talking about a large group of people from different backgrounds coming together to stand up for a cause. But not in a violent way, in a peaceful way. For now, those people set aside some of their differences to fight for a particular cause. And that in itself is positive. This is not the first time. We've experienced it on many occasions in the past. In some cases, for example, due to extreme natural events, people showed compassion and came together to help each other. But after a while, when the feeling of compassion fizzles out and the event in question is no longer a headline in the news, we, humans, tend to go back to our old ways and mindsets. The ability to see the world from different perspectives does not always happen naturally. This is part of the human's experience. Every time we experience a wave of love and compassion on a large scale, we've been given the opportunity to see diversity from a different perspective. Rather than defining diversity as negative or a power struggle from an egotistical behavior, diversity can be perceived as beautiful. Can you imagine living in a world where we are all the same? I can't. It would be boring. We came here as souls having a human experience, rather than living in a world with division and separation. We've been given the opportunity to be more open-minded about our differences. It's okay to have differences of opinions, but rather than being judgmental, let's try to be more tolerant and try to understand people's point of view. Of course, I'm not talking about people who have very extreme views, but for most of us, it's possible. The slight shift we've been sensing recently in the collective has a meaning on a deep personal level. It's time to look at our connection between us humans. This is part of a bigger picture, of creating a new reality for the collective consciousness of humanity. So the next time you are triggered by someone's difference of opinion, try to look at it from a different point of view. Personally, living abroad for a big part of my life taught me to be more open-minded, for example, about different cultures. Does it mean I agree with any aspect of a culture? Of course not. But it means I make the effort to understand different cultures by going back to a country's history. Living abroad brings a new perspective of yourself and the life around you. And I'm grateful I've been given the opportunity. We have two ways to look at differences. Differences might divide us, or they can enrich our lives. I personally think differences can be a source of vast enrichment and growth. But ultimately, the choice is ours. So as you can see, it's just me sharing thoughts and information. I know it's not going to be done overnight. It's going to be a slow process. We're talking about social conditioning going back generations, hundreds of years. And it's interesting. Spirit just showed me a picture of a baby taking his or her first steps. We are talking about baby steps. But at least let's try to be more tolerant and try to look at diversity as a beautiful thing. Not something negative, not something that we could be fearful of, but something beautiful. So that's it for this week. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking and sharing. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel to get notifications on future videos. And if you are interested to get a personal intuitive reading with me, please check my website. You'll find the link below in the description box. So take care of yourself. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.